Okay. You'll probably say the horror afterwards. I'm just kidding.
Nice.
This is about your mother and why we named it after her. All right.
Thank you.
Come on in. Come in. Please come in.
I'm going to give you a tour now. Yeah, for sure. Hi, how are you? There we do. Yeah, I go. Wow, small world. It's just, yeah, wow. I hope they come.
Hi, how you doing? How you been?
Really?
Congratulations. It's awesome. We're so happy. I know. And we're, carrying the torch. I love it.
Everyone gets more.
Hi everybody, welcome to our Makerspace. So my name is Reese Krause and I teach all freshmen. It's a core class and I'm going to give you a little bit of a quick tour of what we have here. So we started off the semester with paper circuitry. Paper circuitry is simply using copper foil, and I'll just show you this little hack notebook that all the girls made. They put a coin cell battery in the back. They learned how to solder, put their wires, they soldered their alligator clips. And then we taught without textbooks, just by doing. We were teaching parallel circuitry. I just want you to notice these two little sticky things. They're actually LEDs, and they were developed and designed by a Stanford University graduate student, and this was her doctoral thesis, and she created a company out of this. And then what we did was the girls are simply going to connect, positive, positive, negative, negative, and you see that parallel circuit, the lights are lighting up, and we just did the A in STEAM is for a little artistic self-portrait. I thought that was pretty good. That was the beginning. Thank you. So this was the beginning of our semester. We then went on and we purchased a computerized sewing machine toward the back of the room there that allows us to put thread, okay, conductive thread into any sewers here. Any sewers? Okay. Conductive thread into the bobbin. We took leather strips and all the girls learned how to use a sewing machine, and they sewed two rails, two lines. They then sewed on a coin cell battery holder, and they made holes, put their LEDs into the holes into the leather. I hope you can all see this. And you saw this on the video, actually. And when we turn it on, the circuit is closed by snapping the bracelet. So here the girls again were learning parallel circuitry. Now this is nice, but it's not what we would call smart, because it's happening because I'm turning the voltage on. So we made this huge leap, and I'd like to bring you over here to this corner. This is a sweatshirt that was purchased at Target, and we're lucky to be at this, the girls are lucky, because what we have here is called Wearable Technology. These LEDs that we have here are all washable. This microcontroller is called a LilyPad Arduino, also washable. The only non-washable part is the LiPo battery, and if you notice here I have a sensor, a light sensor. So we taught the girls to sew with conductive thread. They sewed a circuit going from the microcontroller, parallel circuitry to all their LEDs. We then took a break and we taught them code. We taught them Arduino sketch code, how to control when the lights go on and off. In this instance, this light sensor changes resistance according to lightness and darkness. When I turn the microcontroller on, let's get it on. Notice when I cover the light sensor, it's going to sense a change in the ambient light. And now this is flashing. The girls were brought in their own garments, hats, sweatpants, scarves, and they use this as reflectors when they go out running at night. This was their first wearable garment. We then decided that it's the same way we're teaching our girls to apply this electricity towards lights going on and off, we can do the same with motors. So I'm just going to show you here at the desk. What we're attempting now to do is the girls are pairing up, and they're each going to be building their own motorized robot. We will give them a microcontroller, and we will give them 2 motors. The rest is up to them. In the back of the room, you'll see we have 4 3D printers. And to the back of this gentleman right here, you could point there, that's our new installed laser cutter. Our girls, in fact, today, my students all, and you'll see a bracelet was just, this happened, my husband was going to get me a bracelet, but I 3D printed my own. He said he saved $10,000. We taught the girls how to use Tinkercad, which is a program that interfaces that you can engineer and build any 3D object. And then the girls upload that to an SD card, and they are starting to print their own bracelets. We also are teaching them how to use a laser cutter. If you see this sign up here, Ellie Herzig, my student, came in one day and she said, "How does that work, Mrs. Krause?" And with Benny Reiner and Orly Nadler and Gila Stein, we taught her Illustrator. That's a software that interfaces with it. And shout out to Bergen County MAKERSPACE for helping us. And she was able to etch that onto the wood. We are teaching them 3D printing, laser cutting, soldering, sewing. And we're teaching them also about microcontrollers, about motors, about obstacle. This is a ping sensor, the text, the distance that an obstacle is, LCD display. So they can wake up in the morning and they could say, what do I want to do with what I have learned? Now, if you'll notice, we have no textbooks in this classroom at all. So I just want to bring you over to our interactive wall. What we did here is we built our own interactive textbook. So even though we were teaching by doing, what is a parallel circuit? This is a parallel circuit. What is a series circuit? This is a series circuit. And it teaches the girls, 1 second, this is 2 bulbs, this is 2 bulbs. Why do I need 2 AA batteries here and only 1 AA battery here? So something must be going on with the circuit. And that's a way for them to be a detective and find out what's happening with the current, what's happening with the voltage. I'm sorry, I see that you're enjoying this. You can come out of it and you can help me with the next, no, just help me turn it on. Can you help me? Okay, I'll do that. Okay. The same thing that we're doing with lights, we're showing them with motors, apply voltage, and when you close the circuit, then your motors are working. This is an interactive, this is also an Arduino, and when I turn this on, and you could press this, you'll see these are NeoPixels, and this is sort of like an image that's going on inside. We have a double mirror there. We also have this interactive, we have a potentiometer to teach the girls that as you minimize it, it slows, and then it increases. And this board here teaches the girls all about resistance. We have different resistors going through each circuit here, starting from 100 ohm all the way to 1 million ohm. And you can tell here that the current is stronger here, and here we barely even have any light. I'd like to show this to you. Can I see Dr. Bell? Dr. Duncan Bell. Where is Dr. Bell? Here. So this is Dr. Duncan Bell. He is my mentor, and he is now a mentor to my InNote STEAM education. Dr. Bell is a retired chief bioengineer from Pfizer Pharmaceuticals, and he's joined our staff. And during the summer that I was learning all about STEAM, Dr. Bell and I built this kinetic interactive art. When you turn
I should interrupt and say, I would say a few things, and then she would go off and do everything on her own. It wasn't a large contribution on my part.
Well, what he certainly contributed, huge amount, and I want to show something just to you. When I turn this on, there are obviously motors and Arduinos, because you see there's a light sequence occurring on these wheels, correct? Okay, I'm going to turn it off, and what I want to do is I want to pull this off. And this is Bed Bath & Beyond, a lazy Susan. What we are encouraging our girls are, look around, see what materials you have and what you could create from nothing. You could create something beautiful. I'd like to bring you over to one of our masterpieces here, and this is our auto garden. This is Dr. Bell. Now you can take a stand. This was a design by Dr. Bell, and over the summer, Dr. Bell and he graciously allowed me into his workshop, and we built this auto garden. In the summer and the spring, this auto garden is wheeled outside. And Dr. Bell, can you just show the solar panel? It is totally powered by that solar panel. There's a motor here. We have our dippers. And if you'll notice in the very back, I have a moisture sensor. This moisture sensor, when it goes, you'll notice that it just stopped. Because when that moisture sensor senses that the soil is moist, it triggers, and under here, an old Tupperware from Target, we have our Arduino and we have our relay system and all our wires. So if you come close, you'll see that with PVC pipe, all we did was we connected each container to the next, and the last container goes back into the base of the overflow. On this direction, that's where the moisture sensor sits, in the last container. Because if the last container is wet, stop watering. We had a beautiful crop in the summer. We then brought it inside. We bought these organic microgreens from Maine, and I see that some of them are coming up beautifully. These parsley are a bit stubborn, but otherwise we're getting a beautiful crop. Can I answer any questions?
Where can we find another teacher like you?
Mr. Gottesman, I want to tell you that I'm a math teacher, and I'm not a STEAM teacher. And last year, Mrs. Khan approached me and asked me if I would teach STEAM. And I must say that the encouragement and the support from Mrs. Kahan, Mrs. Nadler, and Mrs. Stein literally created this room, and Mrs. Rachel, from nothing. And it was constantly, what can you learn, where can you go, and they've gone, and they've brought everything back here. This paper circuitry is coming out of Stanford University. This is very, very cutting edge technology. And I feel like I'm in a candy store. I don't know what to do first with all the things we have here. And we're very, very fortunate. And we're very fortunate that Dr. Bell has joined our team as well. We have girls that are part of the Science Olympiad, and who'll be guiding them with that. And this is an unbelievable opportunity to teach the girls what is out there. And I'll teach you how to use it, and now tell me where you want to go. The last thing I'll show you is, now that we got the cutter, I opened up a project to all the freshmen. I said, I'd like your work to be on the walls. So I said, I have a kernel of an idea that I think would be a nice interactive, and voluntarily come join me. It's going to be this coming Monday. So we made a prototype of a little Arduino with sensors. And the same way that that sensor reacted to light, these sensors react also to light, but it doesn't trigger an LED turning on, it triggers musical notes. Now that we're fortunate enough to have the laser cutter, we cut out musical notes, and we're going to transfer the photoresistors onto here, so you could simply walk across the wall and be able to play music. So we feel very, very fortunate here at Maya Note for all the support we have, the encouragement, the guidance, and the help from everybody in this room to make this a reality. Thank you very much.
I just want to reiterate that our entire 9th grade has the pleasure of learning with Reese here at the Makerspace. As far as we know, we are the only yeshiva where STEAM is part of the core curriculum. We feel that it's a literacy that every student, not only those who opt in, every student has to be comfortable with. And we are so excited to see the enthusiasm that is bursting out of this room and the teamwork. And it's really spectacular, and we're so happy that you came and shared a little bit of what's happening here. And if you come in 3 weeks, we will be working on other projects, I assure you. We're constantly reevaluating, reflecting, and moving and running ahead.